tell us, why should we vote for you?
The reason is because of my years of experience working with the community. Right now I'm working with New York City, but before I was working in Yonkers. I have my good friend Jose Roman here, Wilson Terrero, who is one of the leaders for the organization tonight, Virginia Perez, I know all of them from before, and I'm a person that I can bring a new face, new blood into what the New York State needs. Right now there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of things that are happening, but I figure I am the person as a lieutenant governor to complement whoever's running as a governor to run for New York State.
Now, what about crime, gun issues? Where do you stand? That's a very important issue for the people of New York, actually for the people of United States.
Yes.
What is your stance on that?
My stance is I'm a believer of the Second Amendment, but at the same time, recently what happened with the 17 teenagers that were massacred in Florida, we need to revisit the gun laws that are now on the books for the universal checks. They have to do that because we don't want not one more life to be dead, to be, we need to go forward and need to fight hard.
But Henry, every time there is a drastic thing with the gun issues, killings, we hear all this commotion going on, but in a couple of weeks, it's forgotten. Would you also forget that, or will you pursue it until something is passed?
Of course not. I will not forget it, and right now I got to say that if I do get elected, I want to work hard, and where we have to have enough security in our schools. We cannot have, like I said, one more life to be lost, so it's not going to be forgotten. They say that Congress, they talk about it in the middle of a massacre and then they forget about it. That's not going to happen with me. I'm going to work very hard to continue working with legislation, to be very strict, to know that people with mental illness, people or criminals who are not supposed to have any type of arms on them, and we're going to work hard on that.
Now, Henry, tell people how important it is to come out and vote. Nothing will happen, no changes will be done unless people come out and cast their votes.
Exactly. In New York City, there's a low turnout rate, exactly, in Yonkers and so many parts of the United States. We need to try to convince folks to come out to vote because they have to matter. Every vote does count. So we tell people that they come out and they vote because that's the most important thing. If you don't come out and your voice is not heard, then issues cannot be resolved.
So midterm elections are coming up?
Yes, they are.
What is your recommendation for all these people?
My recommendation, folks, to come out to vote. 2018 is very important, the midterm elections, because right now there's a lot of issues on the table. You have gun control, you have the health care. There's so many things that have to be done. They say it's going to be very important at what we're going to do. So folks have to come out and vote for the midterm elections as well.
So this midterm election can be the flipping point.
Yes. Yes,
right?
It can because right now the Senate is 51-49, and right now the House majority is in the Republicans' hands, but it can flip over. So if folks come out and vote and they feel strongly on it, it can flip on both the House and the Senate.
Henry Grullon running for Lieutenant Governor for the state of New York. Is that right?
That's right. Thank you so much for giving me the time so we can speak on a very important issue. Throughout the United States, many students have walked out of schools at 10 a.m. in regards to the 17 that were massacred in Florida, yes.
Well, right here, we in front of the City Hall, Yonkers City Hall, right here about maybe an hour ago or so, we had a group of students that came peacefully to demonstrate, to attempt to speak with the mayor. They said, enough is enough. Henry, how do you stand on gun control?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the students, not only here in Yonkers, but throughout the United States, they have a right to practice their First Amendment rights. And it's good that they can come out and voice their opinion. Obviously, that the schools will give them permission. My stance is I am a strong believer on the Second Amendment, but at the same time, we have to revisit what's happening with the laws that we have on the books right now. We do have a massive problem in regards to massacres that are happening in schools, and we need to revisit. NICE is a system that the federal government has. There's a lot of loopholes, so we need to start visiting that. Folks that are mental illness, we have to know who has their arms in their hands, and it has to be aggressively done by the Congress and on the state level.
So let's make it clear, Henry, that no one here, I don't think you are, opposing the Second Amendment. The opposition is people that should not have guns and have guns, or a better control of who buys guns. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct. Right now, there are laws in place. New York State has the SAFE Act that was passed, I believe it was in 2014, And it's a law that's very strict. New York State is one of the most strict laws in the books when it comes to other states. So yes, right now we need to start revisiting it. New York State is very strict right now, but we still need to see who has and who is able to purchase or get their hands on firearms. But I gotta say, criminals do not respect law anyway, so we really have to see on that point of view too.
Han venido por legalmente y han aplicado y todo. So, yo siento que como una persona, soy dominicano americano y siento que deben de venir legalmente, pero darle respeto a la gente y no tratar de una manera mala.